pound this time.
Yeah.
Here with J.B. Brown and the Honorable Chris Gallen, and today's special topic, pretty much knowing when to shut the up. So, Chris, I'll start it off.
Well, there's always a time to talk. There's always a time to shut the up. Now, according to some sources, Jerry Jones happened to be in a particular situation. I think he was at a bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
At a bar, talking, not business, just talking, regular conversation with some people. And I guess a few people at the bar overheard his conversation and began recording it. And in doing so, some things that Jerry Jones said, some people might find offensive or not, depending on who you are. Now, from the things that he said, he was talking about Bill Parcells, and he also took a shot at Tim Tebow. Now, we're not going to get into exactly what he said, but the fact that he was talking about these people and using offensive language, do you think that was a time to where he needed to shut the F up?
Especially, you are a high-profile person. You're on an NFL team. Hate to say it, the Dallas Cowboys. You're in your jacked-up fan base. You're gonna face scrutiny, for whatever you say. And because of your status, you go out here and you could, thanks to technology, you have, phone, camera phone, video phones, and pretty much recording, whatever you're saying at the bar or wherever you are. So Jerry Jones got caught slipping at that, at that moment in time. And, I feel as if, if Roger Goodell was to do something, it would be just because of your status.
Yeah, especially with Jerry Jones being the man of power. You own the Dallas Cowboys. That's one of the premier teams. That's been in the NFL since 1960. So, being in that particular position, you should know when and where to shut the hell up. Especially when you're running off at the mouth. We know that you're a man of power and you have all this money. We know that. But most of the time, that really does not give you the authority to just run off at the mouth. Especially since you are at a social, they call it a social gathering. Which mainly means you're surrounded by a whole bunch of rich MFs. They have technology also. Some of them don't like you. They just kiss your ass just because you got money and you invited their ass to come hang with you. So mainly, Jerry, shut the hell up. You got other shit to worry about, mainly my team.
Well, go ahead.
I was saying, we know, I was a big fan when we had Bill Parcells because he brought in discipline. Now, if you want to go in and just mock Bill Parcells when he really hasn't done anything to you or said anything to you over the last few years, that's not really cool. I understand if you and Bill Parcells were joking around over a few drinks and y'all decided, hey, I'm going to just mock Jerry. Hey, I'm going to just mock Bill. But other than that,
that was pretty petty.
That's pretty low. Now, Tim Tebow, he's already been scrutinized enough. We know that he had mechanical problems throwing the ball in college and whatnot, but he's since worked on that with John Gruden. Love that quarterback count. But other than that, Jerry, shut the hell up. And this is coming from a Cowboy fan. Shut up.
Well, you know what? I'm going to stick up for you, Jerry, because this is what I see. You can look at an athlete. An athlete can go to the news and talk down on another player, talk trash to him. Anything doesn't happen to him. But if he goes to a bar and then somehow somebody records it, put it on the internet and all that, everybody want to look down his throat. It doesn't matter to me. Everybody you need to worry about this. These people are just as normal as we are. Just because they have more money doesn't mean we should hold them to a higher degree. I wouldn't care what anybody says. Because you know what? Whatever you get caught on camera, they can still be saying behind closed doors. Just like us, we sit here every day. Nobody cares about us because we're not rich and famous. And we can say anything about anybody, dog you and trash you, but nobody will say anything about us. But if we get on camera and say it, all of a sudden everybody wants to go crazy, especially when you got some money. All I'm saying is this. Remember, just because money and all that stuff doesn't mean they're a better person or should be held to a higher standard. They're all the same. Because you know what? I can go walk down the street and not even know a hockey player when I see one. If he started talking trash about another hockey player, it wouldn't bother me because I wouldn't care.
Same goes for baseball, Chris.
Everybody talks trash about people. Everybody is whatever. If he can say it to Bill Parcells' face behind closed doors and all that, and then he gets recorded and saying it, doesn't matter. As long as you can say it to that person's face, doesn't matter if he said it behind your back or not.
Well, it matters. You know, another, I guess, an example of, you know, knowing when to shut the fuck up. You know, if I say a situation and you really, you know, you haven't really done anything, you know, useful, so to speak. You know, we can take this back to, I hate using sports because, you know, it's supposed to be a non-sport day, but I'm not trying to be that anyway. A few years ago when the Patriots and the Eagles played in the Super Bowl, and there was an Eagles wide receiver by the name of Freddie Mitchell,
X.
you know, Fred X, you know, as he liked to call himself. You know, he was pretty much, you know, talking a lot of stuff, you know, to the Patriots. Was it Rodney Harrison?
Yeah, he was talking to Rodney Harrison, out of all players.
And, you know, pretty much within that, you know, that Super Bowl, I feel like, you know, hey, Freddie Mitchell, you know, you honestly didn't really do much within the season. You know, why are you talking smack? You know, you talk smack, you're probably gonna get you to, you know, embarrass yourself. And lo and behold, he did. You know, and soon after, you know, the Eagles released him.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you think?
I mean, that's just competition. I mean, that's just better competition. When players talk trash to each other, I think it just makes everybody play harder and all this and all that. Especially if you're one of the respected players in the locker room. If you take charge of the helm and then you're going at somebody else, if you got that much respect as a leader, then that means the players will follow you. I mean, that just makes it a much better game. Now, if you're just one of the jokers or one of the people that nobody really cares about in the locker room and you talk all that, your players and your colleagues, they're just going to look at you like you're a dumbass. Then you really know that's when you need to shut the F up.
Yes, and Freddie Mitchell, we all knew that he was a bust, especially when the Eagles drafted him in the first round. We all, I mean, who's going to take Freddie Mitchell seriously? Rodney Harrison did not. Neither did I. Man, I was like, only reason he was starting to mess and getting out of the limelight is because he actually caught a touchdown pass in a playoff game against the Falcons. He didn't do anything. He was a non-factor in the Super Bowl, as we all knew. He was a non-factor in the regular season. So that's another one of those situations, is the fact that like, there could be this competition. But one I just recently saw was, I know it's another sports deal, but this is Phil Jackson. I mean, this is it's Phil Jackson and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant felt disrespected by Phil Jackson by calling him a pampered athlete, saying that he gets all the negotiable calls. And Kevin Durant took that to heart because he said, I don't talk about nobody, no player, no coach, nobody else in this league. So for him to say something about me, I find it offensive.
Well, Durant, you know this. You're a high-profile athlete. It doesn't matter whether or not. If you're one of the rising stars, people are going to take shots at you regardless because they're trying to get to where you at. Now, as far as Phil Jackson doing it, Phil Jackson knows how to handle star athletes. I mean, Jordan, Kobe. All he's doing is just getting his team ready for the playoffs and trying to get the officials to be on his side. And for Phil Jackson, of all coaches, to talk about you like that, I think you should take it as a compliment. That must mean he respects your game and he's threatened by you. Not saying that he's thinking he's going to lose, but he respects your game.
He knows you're wrong.
So I would say take it as a compliment and just use it as motivation, plain and simple.
All right, now moving away from sports. Now we've all been I say accountable, or we've all witnessed like arguments and whatnot. Especially when the argument starts heating up, and just say we're not involved in the confrontation, but we do know what the story is all about, and we're just hoping that the person that is arguing, along with another person that's in argument, do not cross that line. That just pretty much will set it off. You're just like, man, shut the hell up, don't cross that line, do not cross that line. I remember